For a long time, my range was capped at about a G4. Being in my parents' basement with my keyboard, E, and then an F, F sharp, G, pushing harder and harder to try to get those notes. My throat would tense up, and I'd get really tired, and I felt like I was just shouting. I wasn't able to create that freedom that I heard in other singers. But I had a huge season of breakthroughs. Let me turn back the clock a little bit to my college days, where I was studying music and vocal performance and recording. There were lots of opportunities for me to study with doctors of vocal performance. And I remember taking the CD, Soundgarden Super Unknown, the track The Day I Tried to Live, to one of these vocal coaches. And I put that CD on, queued it up. I queued it up to the verse, and I said, look, I can do this. I can make my voice sound like that. And then I queued it up to the chorus. I said, what is Chris Cornell doing? It doesn't even sound like the same person. There's so much freedom and aggression and purity, even though it's this distorted, wonderful, powerful sound. He was hitting those C-sharp 5s, and he was hitting them on I vowels as well. Just nuts. And to my massive disappointment, she hit pause on that CD boombox. She looked at me and she said, "You don't want to sing this way. It's gonna ruin your voice. Plus, this singer has a higher voice than you do. You should work on singing and developing your range, your voice. Don't try to sing like this person. It's a losing battle." I was so incredibly disappointed. If Chris Cornell, who appeared to have a lower speaking voice than me,
the title of the song, waited for music that seemed like it might fit that title,
could sing these notes, there had to be a way to do it. Well, a couple of weeks went by, and a buddy of mine who knew I loved Soundgarden gave me 2 CDs. This was really the first exposure I had had to hearing Chris Cornell live. And at the same time, I was subscribed to this unofficial Soundgarden mailing list, compile articles written on Soundgarden, and send them to us via email once a week, and then people would respond to this, and there'd be all sorts of neat discussion. It was kind of before social media, and so this was kind of the way to stay in contact with other Soundgarden fans and see what the press was saying about him without having to search a bunch. And I remember reading this article from some sort of critic. This critic said, Chris Cornell sounds great in the studio, but he sounds like a dying cat live. When I heard him sing live, all the production, layering, and doing the same take over and over again to get that perfect tone out of your voice, all of that was stripped away. And I began to hear his raw approach. I thought, I can make some of those sounds. Row, saved, then you stir. I wouldn't go so far as to say he sounds like a dying cat, but yeah, kind of. I stopped imitating or trying to imitate the perfection in the studio recordings and started to do more of what I heard him do live and on earlier recordings, like Little Joe from Screaming Life. Incredibly raw and experimental things that Chris Cornell was doing with his voice. These sounds became my gateway sounds to understanding that expanding your range is less about hitting notes and working up towards notes, and it's much more about pursuing variance in timbre, character, and resonance. If I can make my voice more expressive through lots of different tonal possibilities, playing with the way my voice resonates all over the place in almost cartoony and voice actory ways, I can stumble upon notes I would have never been able to hit if I was just sitting there on the piano creating these brick walls for myself. None of the exercises that my vocal coaches gave me back in college helped me to break through that ceiling, that G4 ceiling that I had. In fact, they just frustrated me. They just made me tired and tense. Once I stopped the old approach and embraced the new approach, I was hitting notes all over the place that I never dreamed of hitting. And ironically, years later, that song, The Day I Tried to Live, that I gave to one of my vocal coaches in college and said, how do I do this, would be one of the first Chris Cornell tributes I did on my channel. I was able to hit all the notes, sing the song all the way through, with lots of freedom. By the way, I've got a free singing course that you can access by clicking the link in the video description below. If you'd like help expanding your range in the ways that I'm talking about in this video, click that link and join the free course. So cast that keyboard aside. Stop doing vocal exercises and runs that peg the top of your range. Stop caving in to tense throat syndrome and discouragement because you can't break through the ceiling that you've made for yourself. And start embracing tonal variance, character, crazy sounds and imperfections. And the best place to be inspired to do this kind of thing is by listening to some of your favorite singers mess up live. That's what did it for me. It can work for you as well.